A lot of people say, if you're struggling, just ask for help. But what they don't really think of or talk about is how hard that actually is when you're the one going through it. Fear of being a burden is one of the biggest reasons people stay silent, because they feel like they're just going to bother everybody else around them. They start thinking things like, I don't want to be an annoyance to them. They have their own problems going on. I should just deal with this on my own. Now, these thoughts might not come from logic. They come from insecurity, fear, and feeling that your problems don't matter as much as everybody else's. And over time, this mindset makes people isolate themselves emotionally, even if they're surrounded by people who do genuinely want to help them. Another reason asking for help is so difficult is because mental health struggles are often so hard to explain in the moment. Like if you break your arm, it's easy to just show someone where it hurts. But if you're feeling empty, overwhelmed, numb, or constantly anxious, it's not something you can just point to. It's something happening on the inside, in your mind, and that kind of makes it incredibly hard to describe to somebody else. A lot of people don't even fully understand their own emotions most times, so trying to explain them to another person feels almost impossible. They worry about saying the wrong thing, sounding overdramatic, or being misunderstood. Because of that, they stay quiet. Again, not because they don't need the help, but because they don't know how to ask for it in a way that makes sense. For many people, the difficulty of asking for help starts long before they even realize it. It starts in their childhood years. Some people grow up hearing things like, stop crying, you're fine, be strong, be a man. Other people have it worse. Even if these phrases were said with good intentions, they can still teach someone that showing emotions or asking for help is something to be ashamed of. Over time, this kind of creates a habit of suppressing your feelings instead of expressing them. So when that person grows up and starts facing real mental health struggles, their first instinct isn't to reach out. It's to stay silent and try to deal with everything by themselves. Another huge reason people avoid asking for help is the fear of being judged. Mental health is talked about more today than it used to be, but there is still a huge stigma around it. People worry that if they open up, others might see them differently, think that they're weak, or treat them like they're fragile or broken. There's also the fear of not being taken seriously. Some people have opened up in the past only to hear things like, you're just overthinking, you'll get over it, oh, it's not that bad, right? To name a few. But when finally somebody builds that courage and trust to talk about their feelings and gets dismissed like that, it makes it even harder to try again in the future. They start believing that nobody will really understand them, so they stop trying to explain it altogether. And finally, sometimes people don't ask for help simply because they've been dealing with their problems by themselves for so long that it starts to feel normal. And when you live with stress and anxiety or sadness for months on end, or maybe even years, your brain begins to adapt to it. It becomes your daily routine, your baseline. You wake up, go through the day, and go to sleep feeling the same heaviness. And eventually, you sort of stop questioning it. At that point, reaching out doesn't even feel like an option anymore. It just feels like, this is how my life is supposed to be. Even though, deep down, you know it shouldn't be. Asking for help is not easy by any means. It requires vulnerability, honesty, and the willingness to admit that you can't handle everything by yourself on your own. And that's something so many people were never taught how to do. But needing help doesn't make you a bad person or a weak individual. It doesn't make you overdramatic, and it definitely doesn't make you a burden. It makes you human. If you've been struggling and you've been keeping everything to yourself because you're scared how people might react, or because you don't even know where to start, just know that you're not the only one who feels that way. A lot of people are fighting the same internal battles every single day. And if you're watching this video right now, still here, still trying, even if you feel exhausted or lost, I want you to know that I'm really glad you're still here. Your story isn't over, and there are people out there who would rather listen to you struggle than lose you in silence. That's all I have for y'all today. As always, stay rolling.